An anti-religious white man has shot 3 Muslims to death, and it all may have started because of a parking dispute, according to police. White 46-year-old man from Chapel Hill, North Carolina, named Craig Stephen Hicks, has been charged with 3 counts of murder after 3 college students were shot and killed last night at a condo complex in Chapel Hill. The 3 individuals are D. Shadi Barakat, Yusor Muhammad, and Rizan Muhammad Abu Salah. All 3 shot in the head, all 3 pronounced dead at the scene. And Barakat and Muhammad, 2 of the 3 victims, were actually married to each other. And police are now saying, this is the latest information we have, that an ongoing dispute over parking may have been a factor in the shootings on Tuesday evening. As I mentioned, the 3 victims were Muslim. The perpetrator is not. And according to his Facebook page, he seems to be very, very anti-religious, some saying aggressively atheistic. Thousands of posts on social media where people are questioning whether the Islamic faith of the victims was a factor here. We have a statement from the CAIR National Director, Nihad Awad, who said, quote, "Based on the brutal nature of this crime, the past anti-religious statements of the alleged perpetrator, the religious attire of the 2 victims, and rising anti-Muslim rhetoric in American society, we urge state and federal law enforcement authorities to quickly address speculation of a possible bias motive in this case." And initially, very little media coverage of this. The headlines, for the most part, ignoring the Muslim faith of the victims. And we've explored this double standard extensively, Lewis, where anytime that there is an alleged Muslim perpetrator, the term terrorist is immediately used, and the Muslim faith of the perpetrators is immediately central to the story. Where here, of course, it is being mentioned that all 3 of the victims were Muslim, but it is not really taken in with the same seriousness that it seems to be when we have alleged Muslim perpetrators. CNN and other networks speaking for hours and hours over the last 48 hours about a white woman who was killed by ISIS. And here we have 3 Muslims killed by what appears to be a very anti-religious white man. And the contrast between the coverage on corporate media of these stories could not be more stark.
Yeah, I think if it were the other way around, perhaps they would be much quicker to use the word terrorist or quicker to make certain assumptions. I guess we still don't know a lot about this, and it could have just been a case of some insane type of road rage or parking rage. Or maybe it was just the color of their skin that had something to do with it and not necessarily their religion. But either way, it's certainly worth investigating.
And presumably we will find out more about what it means that there was an underlying, ongoing parking dispute that was a factor here. And in the alleged perpetrator's Facebook page, we can see all sorts of pro-atheist images talking about how religions are evil because they kill people. And then he goes and kills people, possibly with their religion being a factor, although we don't yet know that for sure, Lewis. And very often it takes a while until we finally figure out exactly what happened in these cases.
But this is one of those cases where the shooter is alive and has been captured, so at least we will hear from the shooter.
That's right. He did turn himself in not that long after this incident took place last night. We will continue to cover it.